Patulog tayo ng konti. Nakikita niyo sa ating puffy eyes. Eto na, eto na. Grabe, tignan mo. Ngayon pa lang sa sunrise dito. 10 a.m. na almost. At parang ngayon lang magsa-sunrise dito. Grabe yung schedule natin dito. Oh. Thank you Lord. Medyo safe tayo nakapunta dun sa isang iceberg area, yung Russell Iceberg. Really fantastic place. I really suggest people to go there. And just as a test, no? Uh, Nagpalit tayo ng sapatos actually. Sabi ko gamitin ko yung isang sapatos. So, ito, yung mga interesado dyan, go for Cloud Monster version ng On Shoes. Especially kung makahanap kayo ng sale edition, nakahanap ako ng sale edition noon. So, sobrang sulit yung Cloud Monster kasi sobrang lalim yung kanyang mga dun sa ilalim niya. So, ang dami niyang mga snow na mga kuha. So, even if hindi ako gumamit ng icebreaker or snow piercer, uh, sapat na sapat yung shoes na yan. So, very, very good shoes. So, I suggest go for Cloud Monster On. Yun po yung ginamit natin kahapon. Especially kung nakahanap po kayo ng wag na yung mga yung mga usual stuff, mga Adidas, Nike, ganun. Go for Cloud Monster. Very good. Yung Cloud Monster version ng On, hindi yung mga normal kasi yung iba may normal silang On na medyo flat version. Hindi siya masyadong maganda daw dun sa Salomon na lang mas maganda daw. But yung Cloud Monster sobrang lalim, so pag ganyan mga pagtapak mo ng snow, you can hear talaga the crunch. So go for it. Anyway, syempre, hindi naman tayo travel vlogger per se, but I'm looking at making a number of videos sana based dito sa mga ibang travels natin. Especially, as a form of encouragement to dun sa mga ibang kababayan natin na gusto, to go to the frontiers of the world. At yung mga tao na gusto makita ng yung mga people who want to see the kasi hindi natin alam gaano katatagal to eh. Maybe in 50 years, 100 years, wala na yung mga ibang icebergs dito. So, Greenland has the largest iceberg, the ice sheet overall, no, in the world outside Antarctica and biggest in the northern hemisphere. So, makikita mo talaga yung remnants ng ice age and deep into the horizon, no? You peer deep into the horizon, it's like an abyss of frozen dunes, no? So, sobrang magical yan. So, yun ang suggest ko sa inyo. So, make sure if you come here, you use icebreakers. Meron kayong dala na snow piercer, icebreakers, whatever you want to call it. So, very important yan. Pero certain parts na hindi masyadong icy and snowy, Cloud Monster on edition should do the trick, right? Tinest ko yan talaga kahapon. It worked very, very well. So, yung Cloud Monster edition, kasi nga yung mga flat edition, hindi ganun kaganda yata dito sa mga snow. It has to be that taller Cloud Monster edition ng on. Anyway, yun yung suggestion ko dun sa mga gusto climb ng intense. Now, as you know mga kameto, of course, I would be happy to post nice pictures and all, but as you know, uh, well, our heart goes to all of the people are suffering right now in the Middle East. No, sabi ko, I don't care what's your color, your creed, or country. When thousands of children are dying, whether it's on this side of the border, on that side of the border, that's something that is gonna really really hurt us. So, but I just felt it's not the right time to post yung mga ibang pictures natin. I tried to make to make sure na we get the best pictures possible. But siguro medyo later pa natin i-post unti-unti because I'm just not in the state of mind, no? Actually, last year, nasa Europe din tayo, back to back to back. Ang dami ko muna hindi na-post ng picture kasi nangyari yung giyera sa Ukraine, di ba? So parang you feel it's a bit insensitive, no? To post about, mga glamour shot feels when, so much suffering and pain is happening. Especially when children and women are affected or elderly affected. Ibang usapan yan eh. Ibang usapan yan. Now, going back to the Philippines, obviously, hindi ako nakapag-boto. Medyo malayo ata yung voting booths. I think nandun pa sa Nuuk sa kabila. At best, if not all the way back in Copenhagen. So unfortunately, I was not able to vote. So here we have barangay elections. Now, barangay elections are interesting because, well, in many ways, ito yung microcosm ng ating politika. It gives us idea about the fundamentals of Philippine politics. It gives us ideas about the fundamental problems of the Philippine politics. So, base sa mga reports na nakita ko kanina, mga ilan po namatay. So, a report that came out a few hours early said at least 3 po ang namatay related dun sa barangay elections na nagaganap dyan sa Pilipinas. So, dun pala nakikita mo na this is a microcosm of Philippine politics. Guns, goons, and gold, no? And I wonder, if there are gonna be some comprehensive reports about corruption, etc. Tsaka yung ano, 'di ba, yung mga sangguniang kapatagan, SK elections pa or kahit sa barangay elections level, doon pala nakikita natin na andun na yung ugat ng problema eh. Yung mga sinasabi na batang-bata pa lang trapo na or barangay level pa lang parang mala presidente na yung ano, 'di ba? Yung yung kilos, 'di ba? Yung mga the moves, 'di ba? At alam natin, million-million dolyar na ngayon ang ginagastos pag tumatakbo na sa barangay election sa ibang lugar, no? So, this is insane. So, this tells you that there's something fundamentally wrong talaga sa ating demokrasya because barangays are something unique to the Philippines. Barangays are something unique because if you look at the Philippines prior to the arrival of European colonizers, whether it's the Spanish, whether it's the Americans, or whether it's the Japanese at some point, also colonizers, actually we had political entities, political institutions, and polities, pero relatively small size. And barangay, of course, comes from the word balangay, and it can go back to yung story ng mga bangka na ginagamit ng ating ancestors roaming through seas and oceans. No? So a lot of us have DNAs that can be traced all the way to Madagascar. So our ancestor crossed the Indian Ocean all the way to places like the Philippines. So ito po yung mga roots natin, no? Yung DNA roots natin. No? Yung Malayan roots po natin can be traced all the way back to Madagascar. So for some of you who may have met people from Madagascar, I have a friend from Madagascar who's actually French, Paris-based. Yan, mukhang Indonesian, pwede mukhang Pinoy, di ba? So, you look at it, our ancestors went through oceans, and some of them went all the way to Hawaii and all the way to the other side of the Pacific near Chile, right? So we have amazing ancestors. When China says that, oh, thousands of years ago, I don't know, Admiral Zhang He was not even a Chinese, it was a Muslim, Central Asian Persian person. And when they say, oh, our ancestors roamed these areas, blah, 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 excuse me, no, our ancestors roamed the entire Indian and Pacific Oceans for thousands and tens of thousands of years. Kaya nga yung mga people similar to our DNA, Malayan race, can be found all the way to actually here, no? Or all the way here, you can say perhaps mga Inuits related, not sa Malayan race, but sa Asiatic races, and all the way also of course to the Pacific Islands, to Guam. So we can have a long conversation about it. I really suggest you guys read the book, The Dawn of Everything. It's a pretty long book, a 1,000-page book, but it tells you a lot about archaeological and anthropological discoveries of the late, no? Which helps you to appreciate things, that put things into context. Now, meron akong isang interview, habol ko yung, again, yung issue ng Philippine vote sa United Nations at saka yung approach natin sa Middle East. But before going there, speaking of barangay, sabi ko nga, the best way to appreciate Tatay Digong's foreign policy is barangay geopolitics, no? Yung kanyang pag-intindi sa nuances and sophistication of foreign policy ay ka-level ng isang barangay official na wala pang napuntahan masyado around the world. Marami akong kilala na barangay chairman na may mas maraming alam kay Tatay Digong, no? At mas sophisticated at maraming napuntahan sa mundo. Pero yung kay Tatay talaga, ito yung pang barangay level lang. And speaking of how pang barangay yung kanyang politika was this, yes, he was correct to raise questions about the Philippines' dependence on the US, pero nag-jump siya kaagad sa China. At tignan natin ano nangyari sa mga proyekto ni Tatay Digong nung panahon niya. So 6 years si Digong sa power. He was promised $24 billion of investments by China. He was promised multiple high-tech modern railways by China, including one in Mindanao and two others in Luzon area. We're talking about billions of dollars, and wala, nada, zilch, nilch, nothing. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Kaya nga sabi ko, mali yung mga kaibigan natin na iba na nagsasabi, death trap. Ang death trap po yung mangyari kung may nangyari investment. Sa atin wala po nangyari. Pledge trap po yung nangyari. Pledge trap. Purong pangako lang, purong pledge lang. Walang nangyari sa parte ng China, pero si Tatay Digong ay purong ganyan-ganyan sa China. So ito po, no, kanina si Transportation Secretary Bautista, no, sabi niya itong mga projects estimated at $4.9 billion ay officially wala na. Sabi niya, we have 3 projects that won't be funded by the Chinese government anymore. We can wait forever, and it seems like China isn't that interested anymore. So wala na. Accordingly, the Marcos Jr. administration is looking for better deals proposed from Japan, Korea, Australia, or from the United States or the European Union, which also have a lot of experience with the high-tech infrastructure projects, and they provide interest rates that are way better than China. In China, interest rates na 3%, 4% plus. Japan, interest rates nila mga point something, right? Under 1%, no? So much better terms. And of course, pagdating sa Japan, ang ganda ng quality. So salamat kay Aquino, salamat kay Digong, at salamat kay BBM na at least yung subway project natin na led by Japan ay tuloy-tuloy na, at hopefully within 2 years, some of the new stations will open up. So yung mga social dyan na mga taga BGC, Makati, baka makikita niyo yung mga first stations na yan. And hopefully before the end of this decade, kompleto na yung subway made by Japan. I look forward to more railways in the Philippines made by Japan since mukhang wala nangyari dito sa China yan. In fact, ayon sa Philippine Senate, no? Ayon sa Philippine Senate, hindi lang itong tatlong railway projects ay medyo malala dahil sa sobrang palpak ni tatay mag-negotiate ng mga international deals. Yan kasi amateur nga, yabang-yabang. That's what happens when you have iron will and yabang attached to little knowledge. It's a very, very bad combination, all right? So, dito ayon kay Sherwin Gatchalian, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, aside from dito sa mga palpak na China project na hindi natuloy, 6 other projects under ODA have also been delayed. Sabi ni Sherwin Gatchalian, we convene an overnight oversight on ODA, so I know that many of the ODA funded projects are delayed due to the implementation of the right-of-way and bidding. Consider the economics, and if the benefit outweighs the cost, will it be cheaper and will the benefits be better? We need to balance it. That is never free. We need to pay for it. So the 6 projects funded under ODA by China are the Mindanao Railway Project, Tagum Davao Digos segment, closed circuit television project in the cities of Marikina, Parañaque, Pasig, San Juan, and Valenzuela, New Centennial Water Source, Kaliwa Dam Project, Philippine National Railway South Long Haul Project, or the PNR Bicol, Samal Island Davao City Connector Project, and the Chico River Pump Irrigation Project. Ayon kay Gatchalian, we should study the ODA based on the economy, interest rates, and grace period. These are the important aspects. Geopolitics, that's just the third. Are there greater benefits when it comes to economic activities? Now, ayon sa Department of Finance earlier, nag-inform sila kay Chinese Ambassador Huang Xilian, ay andan pa siya, na yung Philippines request for ADA from from China for 83 billion dun sa Mindanao Railway Phase 1 was being pulled out. So, wala. It's over. Wala. Purong scam. Now, I know, of course, mahabang usapan yan. We can have a different vlog about this, mga kameta. Of course, on the side of China, sasabihin nila, ang problema po ay hindi galing sa kanila, ang problema po ay galing sa Pilipinas. Ang sinasabi po nila, yung Philippines laws and regulations, yung right of way, sobrang komplikado, yung right of expropriation ay delikado. Tsaka, yung isa sa tama sinasabi ng mga ibang Chinese dyan, ay napakakurakot yung mga counterparts nila sa Pilipinas. So, ito po yung project, tapos biglang iba na yung nagiging itsura ng project dahil daming gusto mga kung ano ng kalokohan. Especially nangyari to dati, di ba? So, okay, I kind of see the argument of our pro-China friends or Chinese friends who are saying that actually ang problema sa Pilipinas side. But let's be also honest, hindi lang sa Pilipinas nangyari yan. All around the world, nakikita natin na China makes billions of dollars of promises and really not much happens. Or when it happens, it's Chinese workers, Chinese technology, Chinese engineering, Chinese infrastructure, Chinese logistics. Wala, alos walang participation local country, tas ang taas pa yung interest rates. As we saw in Sri Lanka, as we saw in many countries. Also in Laos. Yung Laos, mayabang sila kasi may speed railway sila. But there are big questions whether these are white elephant projects, right? Many of the other projects that China built in Africa. Now, having said that, that doesn't mean that necessarily maganda rin yung ginagawa ng ibang bansa. Ang tanong ko ngayon is, nasaan ang US? Nasaan ang US? Nasaan yung mga infrastructure projects naman ng US sa Pilipinas? Japan, okay, that's good. Pero, hindi pwede na sasabihin ng US ay babash lang nila yung China, pero wala silang replacement. So the question right now is, what is the US and our Western partners going to offer us now that essentially all of these Tatay era Belt and Road projects ay wala nang saysay dahil wala naman talaga saysay to begin with. But that shouldn't make us give easy pass to the other side because ano naman i-offer ng US sa atin. Now so far in fairness, pagdating naman dito sa West Philippines issue, President Biden just the other day made it absolutely clear that the Philippines-US 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty will apply should there be an attack on our troops, personnel, etc., and that the US and Philippines will jointly, quote, defend themselves against external armed attack. Right? So President Biden in a press conference said the other day, the United States Defense Secretary of the Philippines is ironclad. Any attack on the Philippine aircraft, vessels, or armed forces will invoke our mutual defense treaty with the Philippines. All right? So we will jointly defend ourselves against any external attack. Yun ang sinabi ni President Biden. No? So in short, tutulungan tayo pag if ever nagkaroon ng escalation sa West Philippine Sea. Now, nagkaroon tayo ng mahabang discussion like how is the US going to be involved in 3 potential conflicts simultaneously: Ukraine, Israel conflict right now in Gaza, and also the West Philippine Sea. I have my doubts about it. I have raised some issues about it, but let's see. But so far, mga kameta, on the South China Sea, it looks like there's more reassurance from the US. But my tanong is this: okay, na-expose na medyo scammy na pledge trap lang yung mga investment pledges ng China. Wala pa nangyari, nakakancel lahat, walang funding, etc. And yung kalabuan na yan nangyari, and by the way, before Marcos made a decision on EDCA, which is in February of this year. August pa lang last year, alam natin wala nangyari sa mga projects na yan. So, this problem of China making pledges, empty pledges, precedes the EDCA decision by BBM. So, hindi natin pwede blame yan. But at the same time, as I always say, ano naman i-offer ng US sa Pilipinas when it comes to economic incentives and investments? Hindi pwede purong EDCA lang, purong mga weapons, military. Dapat may economic infrastructure investment ng ang Amerika, mga Europeo, yung mga ibang bansa. Hindi lang pwede mga Hapon lang forever. Kasi limitado din ang kakayahan ng mga Hapon eh. But we'll discuss more about mga Hapon this week. There'll be developments, don't worry. I know what I'm talking about. We'll talk about more Japan this week. You'll know why soon. But going back to this mga kameta, ito talaga, na-expose talaga, pang barangay lang talaga yung foreign policy, Tatay Digong. Purong palpak. Ang dami na billion na sinabi na walang dumating, canceled na lahat, walang nangyari. Ilan years na? 2016 pa lang pumunta na sa China. 2023, mag-2024 na, wala pa rin na rin. Alright, on that note, thank you very much mga kamet, and talk to you soon. Hinahanap na ako dun sa kabila. Alright, kailangan natin ma-interview. Ayan na.